With a pressure cooker, you can make this in a jiffy very quickly, very easily. Hey folks, welcome back to Count and Cook. This is Satvik Sridhar Suvarna. You might have found multiple these kind of recipes in our social media handle, but each one is different, procedure being different, ingredients being different. If you like the video, please give this video a like, share it with your friends. Without any further ado, let's begin the cooking. In the first step, soak 10 Badgi red chilies in water for 10 minutes. So soak 10 Guntur chilies too for extra flavor. After 10 minutes of soaking, transfer the soaked Badgi red chilies after draining the water out into a blender jar like this. Now transfer the soaked Guntur chilies too after draining them, and here goes 2 tablespoons of homemade ginger garlic paste. Now goes the powdered spices like a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of cumin powder, a tablespoon of coriander powder, and a tablespoon of homemade garam masala powder. For grinding, instead of water, use 200 grams of yogurt and blend into a smooth and thick paste like this. Here we have taken 1.25 kilos of skinless chicken cut into big sized pieces but without liver or gizzards. Here goes salt as per taste. At this stage, 4 level teaspoons of salt would be appropriate. Now goes the ground masala entirely. Don't pour in rinsed water because the moisture content needs to be in control. Now coat the chicken pieces nicely with the masala so that each and every corners and crevices of the chicken pieces is coated with the masala. Quarter bunch of mint leaves, a bunch of cilantro, and 5 green chilies that are chopped together goes in now. Now coat the chicken nicely with the greens. To ensure that the masalas are well absorbed and chicken becomes tender, marinate for at least a couple of hours. Soaking overnight in a refrigerator would be advisable. Let's fry the onions now. For that, heat up a wok like this, and when the wok heats up, here goes approximately 70 ml of sunflower oil. When the oil has heated up, here goes 5 sliced onions, and to speed up the cooking of onions goes half teaspoon of salt and saute for a while. Instead of this, it is better to deep fry the onions, but we generally avoid it to keep the cost under control. And when the onions have turned brown, off goes the flame and transfer 3/4 portion of the fried onions along with the oil onto the marinade. Remaining quarter portion of the onions would be required later for garnishing. Now coat the chicken pieces with the onions. The real flavor comes from the ghee, so here goes approximately 30 grams of ghee or clarified butter. Give it a mix, and if you have forgotten already, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you have liked this video so far. Now transfer the chicken pieces into a pressure cooker like this so that each chicken pieces are in contact with the bottom of the pressure cooker. The remaining masala goes on top of the chicken pieces. Remember, we haven't used any water in this preparation because the moisture needs to be in control. But it in any ways doesn't mean that we never use water in this kind of preparation. Some people contact me on Instagram or on Facebook saying that their preparation has turned out to be too watery or the rice has become too soggy. That's because the moisture content is not appropriate. At best, I can show you the detailed procedure using video or give you a detailed explanation, but it's you who has to use your judgment while making at home. Here we have washed a kilo of good quality basmati rice 5 to 6 times and have soaked for half an hour. Washing for 5 to 6 times is necessary to get rid of the starch content, otherwise the rice would become soggy. To cook the rice, boil loads of water in a pot like this and season it with some salt such that the water tastes like seawater, that means slightly salty. Like always, we are adding in pandan leaves that are grown in our backyard. These have nice fragrance of good quality basmati rice. 2 inches of cinnamon sticks and 10 cloves goes in for flavoring the rice. The important ingredient for flavoring the rice is 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds or shajira. Pouring in juice of 1 whole lemon would ensure that the rice remains fluffy and separate once done. Pouring in 30 ml of sunflower oil would also ensure that the rice remains separate and fluffy once done. Let me check out the taste now. It's still not salty like seawater, so here I am adding in 2 level teaspoons of salt. So you got to use your judgment here. Before adding in the rice, let the water come to a boil, and once the water comes to a boil, here goes the soaked basmati rice after draining its water out. Give it a stir once, don't stir frequently because soaked basmati rice is delicate and has the tendency to break. Now the rice is 75% cooked. How would you know that? By pressing it between your fingers, the rice should break, but never should it get mashed. Turn off the stove immediately and transfer the rice onto the marinade. You might have observed that in restaurants the rice is separate and fluffy but seldom tasty. That's because they might use a lot of oil but they never use ghee. So here add in 5 tablespoons of ghee on top of the rice. Now goes the second layer of basmati rice. To give it a restaurant kind of effect, add in yellow food color dissolved in water. If you are rich enough, you can also use saffron soaked in milk or in water. 5 tablespoons of ghee goes in again on the second layer, and the quarter portion of the fried onions that we had retained earlier goes in now. Put on the lid and cook on them on lowest possible flame or on sim for 36 minutes. It again depends upon the intensity of the flame that you have at home, and the timings would vary accordingly. After 36 minutes of dum cooking and after letting the steam off by itself, that may take around 5 to 10 minutes, take out the lid, check out the rice. It is well cooked but yet separate and fluffy. Let me show you the chicken pieces now. Chicken is well cooked and tender, and it's not rubbery or chewy that you typically associate with broiled chicken. Hey, the dish that can be made easily by anybody just with a pressure cooker is ready to try this recipe out at home and let us know how it turned out. For more such interesting recipes like this, please stay tuned. Until then, ciao, goodbye, take care, Solmada.